Time now for quick hits as we pick up the pace and welcome in Mark Malusis and Sal Licata. Sal, let's start with you. There were many different issues for the Mets in this sweep. What was the most frustrating part about these three games in your eyes?
Probably the offense. I mean, it was a little bit of everything. I mean, it was bad starting pitching, bad defense, but the offense in particular. And I'm going to pick on the $341 million man, Francisco Lindor, had a chance to change this series with a couple of swings of the bat, and he didn't do it. So I'm not worried about him long term, but he didn't do it in this series. And really, you look up and down the lineup. Alonso now maybe starting to get hot, but they just haven't been good enough offensively. This team isn't a good ball club all in all. Starting pitching behind the top two. The bullpen can be shaky. We know the defense is bad. They're built to score a bunch of runs. They have to win with that offense, and they didn't do that nearly enough in this series.
Certainly the numbers with runners in scoring position woeful, as they have been all year long. All right, Moose, we talked about third base on Wednesday. The conundrum played out right in front of us for Luis Rojas as Luis Guillorme makes a great play but goes hitless while J.D. Davis hits that pinch hit RBI double. So what's the solution for the Mets here at third base?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tricky for Rojas, but ultimately, I think if J.D. Davis can be okay at third base, I think he's going to play. I mean, I think the bat does play. I mean, all due respect to Luis Guillorme, I think he's a very, very good defensive player, clearly better than J.D. Davis at third base. Now, I understand the importance of defense, but I mean, the decision's already been made. And you look at J.D. Davis and what he can do offensively. I mean, just look at that at bat, jumping on the fastball late in the game, the drive to center field. The power does play. Ultimately, as long as he's okay and workable at third base, never going to be great defensively, he's going to be your third baseman.
All right, Sal, back to you. What was your take on how Rojas managed the bullpen with Castro facing just one batter while having Edwin Diaz pitch in the 9th and the 10th?
I didn't have a big problem with it, but I mean, come on. Edwin Diaz for a second inning, when you start in the inning with a guy on second base, did anybody really think the Mets were going to close it out? Did you really think Diaz, with a runner at second base, was going to close the game there? Please. I mean, that is as easy as pie for the Chicago Cubs to score. But in all, Diaz did his job the prior inning. This game was lost because of the offense, so I'm not going to nitpick the moves that Rojas made in the bullpen. I didn't really have a big problem with it, other than knowing that the game was over in that 10th inning with Diaz.
Yeah, other than that, it was great. Yeah, it certainly looked a lot different than how he looked in Colorado.